Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Driven Wild. Today we are talking about, for the love of God, drop a pin. Doordash Driver shares PSA to customers who live in apartments. You know, I feel like there just needs to be an overall PSA for anybody who lives in apartments. And you know what? I'm glad it happened on TikTok. Those are the kind of videos that have reach. And honestly, I'm really curious about what this person is saying, because let's be realistic, there's a lot of things that we could say to a lot of customers who live in apartments. So with that said, I want to go over everything that is being said in this article, how it actually is for customers, drivers, on Doordash, UberEats, and Grubhub, and everything in between. So with that said, let's get started. Plenty of Doordash drivers have expressed their disdain for delivering orders to apartments. In fact, on TikTok, one viral clip even exposed a worker caught eating a customer's order because he supposedly couldn't find her unit. I actually covered that story as well. I will leave that video in the description. Feel free to check it out. So what's the source of all the apartment rage? There are plenty of reasons why delivering to multi-unit dwellings could frustrate food delivery workers, especially if those orders take more time to complete. Oh my goodness. Let me count the ways. The fact that you probably need to call them through the call box in order to get in the building. You actually gotta go up the elevator to find the apartments. If it's a walk up, that means gotta walk up it. If that multi-unit dwelling, as they put it, is actually in a gated community, you gotta contact them to get into the gated community. Choosing which side of the multi-unit dwelling you actually go in from is crucial in order to save you some time. Like, honestly, the list can go on forever. If you have to call them through the call box and they don't pick up for whatever reason, you kind of have to put on the timer and pray that they're paying attention long enough to let you in the building. There's a lot of reasons. Some complexes, for example, require delivery drivers to buzz in, and DoorDashers have faced difficulties even getting into the unit. Then there's the added labor to hunt down the individual apartment building itself. Customers might also forget to include their unit number while inputting their addresses, forcing the delivery driver to have to contact them and hunt down their location. That's true too. Sometimes they'll even forget to put the unit number, claim that they're gonna meet you outside, and then they just don't meet you outside. And because of that, you have to ask them for the unit number and either hope that they come out or go up to the unit anyway. Also, some of those apartment complexes have assigned parking and very limited guest parking as well. Dealing with security and creating your own parking, there's not enough time in the day to express all of the challenges of apartment complex deliveries. Again, with a combination of factors, can add several minutes to an order, which can have a negative impact on a delivery driver's bottom line. But recently, one Kentucky-based TikToker, Megan Whitmer, at Meganmakesjokes, shared a simple solution for DoorDash customers who live in apartment buildings: to drop a pin in the app. This feature is commonly found on pretty much every major modern smartphone. Uses a device's GPS sensors to determine an accurate location for the device holder. I'm going to leave our TikTok as well as her profile in the description so you can develop your own opinions on the subject. And one thing that UberEats has actually done is actually include the specific location of the unit within the app itself. While I'm not always thrilled about using like the in-app GPSs, they actually did good on that one. Here's a little DoorDash tip from your friendly, reluctant Doordash driver. If you order DoorDash and you live in an apartment building, for the love of God, drop a pin to tell us where to find you, Whitmer said. I don't want to be out here in the dark searching for building 42300A. I host a true crime podcast. While I'm out here stumbling around with your food, I have already imagined all 372 ways I'm about to get unalived. That's all. First off, you host a true crime podcast, but you're outdoor dashing. I feel like you're asking for that story to pop up on your podcast. Second, I totally agree with the premise, especially if the building itself is actually all the same address as the multi-unit dwelling of the entire community. Like, I just delivered an order today, actually. It was a package for VHO, and the entire complex area, like, it wasn't one building, it was multiple buildings, were all the same overall address. But it was like building 1, building 2, building 3, building 4. And I had to find building 13, apartment 206. And that's a nightmare in itself. Because at that point, you have to find which side of the building it's on. And the GPS on Google is not the same as the GPS in the app. And where you are may not correspond to what the app is telling us. Even my building, like the building I'm currently living in, every time the GPS takes you here, it sends you behind the building, when in reality it's right out on the main road, which I'm not sure if I really should have said that, but it built up on my point. And yeah, a pin can really make the difference there. Just make sure you're paying attention, because especially on Uber Eats specifically, they don't adjust the GPS itself to the pin, because they have to take you to the building, not just where the pin is. Other DoorDash drivers have similarly expressed how little they enjoy making apartment deliveries. Redditor @RiaMatt, for instance, wrote in a post uploaded to the site's r/DoorDash sub, "Does anyone else hate delivering to apartments? I have so many customers who don't give gate codes or directions. I mean, I don't live in your complex and it's dark AF. I don't know where to find the apartment among the many buildings, and they don't answer when I call or text for assistance. It's so annoying." I feel like my problem isn't the building itself. Yes, the gate code and the call box codes are annoying to deal with, but the concept of getting into the building or finding the apartment among a apartment complex community is really where my frustration is. Like, if you're gonna make my job harder, I can't help you. It's really that simple. TikTok users who replied to Whitmer's post agreed with her assessment. One user even gave a second tip to DoorDash customers: "Turn your effing porch light on if you know you ordered freaking food and it's dark." I feel like that's not really a apartment issue, more so a actual house issue, although I 100% agree with your point. Other drivers also commented to vent their frustration about various types of deliveries. Or you go up 3 flights of stairs only to go up another 3 flights of stairs on the other side because the diner failed to note which entrance to enter, said one user. Yes! Like, seriously, the most frustrating thing in the world. You have to find 306. Like, you gotta go up 3 flights of stairs. There's no elevator. So you walk up 3 flights of stairs and you realize you have to go on the other side of the building on those side of the stairs in order to find 306. Or you enter a building where they do have an elevator. That elevator will take you to 101, 201, 301, and everything else is on the clear other side. I just don't accept those orders, LOL. Commented another. You gotta really know your area in order to be able to capitalize on that concept. Maybe accepting and then declining and then you just unassign it, maybe you can get away with that, but like, unless you are super well adept in an area with very few apartment complexes near you, I don't think that it's gonna cut it in most cases. But one DoorDash customer who said they live in an apartment said that there might be some instances where the driver is at fault. "I live in an apartment. Leave good delivery notes to find me easier. But guess what? Drivers here don't read it," they wrote. 4 types of drivers, in my opinion. Number 1, they misread your directions. Number 2, they read it and get it right. Those are the good ones. Drivers who don't read English, that's another thing. If they don't speak English, they don't read English, so they don't know what to actually do in this instance. And 4 is the ones that just don't care and they'll do whatever. That's also a market-to-market problem too. If you're in an area that has a lot of bad drivers and not very many good ones, then you kind of shouldn't be on DoorDash, UberEats, or Grubhub, because the market you're in is not exactly good for it. This is my opinion. It's worth what you pay for it. None of you pay me. There you go. Honestly, there are a lot of tips that we can give you as drivers to your customers to help us help you. But there are 2 problems with that instance. Number 1, the driver has to care enough to actually get to your apartment, period. And number 2, probably more importantly than that, customers actually have to care enough to leave those instructions to begin with. Because otherwise, we're going to be out in the dark wondering where to go and where you are. And there's a whole lot of wrong with that period. Don't get me wrong. When it's easy, it's easy. I don't have a problem when everything is all set up. You left the gate code in there. It's easy enough to find your unit, or you left instructions on for me to find your unit. When it's that way, it's awesome. But in a lot of cases, the difference between us making good money on this order and us getting frustrated by how long this is taking us is really as simple as having the information we need to actually deliver your order. Whether you're a customer or a driver, you gotta let us know what you need in order to actually receive your orders and for us to deliver your orders. So help us help you get your orders in a timely fashion, because that's really what's important for all parties involved. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. As always, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.